All right. Welcome to the Tech School Podcast, powered by DSDT. I'm Josh.
And I'm Mr. Harris.
Hey, Mr. Harris. Good afternoon to you, my good friend.
Top of the day to everyone out there in everybody's land.
In everybody's land.
Everybody's land.
Everybody's city, country, community, so on and so on and so on. From your neighborhood to your locality. All right, I got you.
Sound like you was going to go into the whole stint about the neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm just saying that's what I heard.
I mean, that's kind of the vibe I caught from you just now, and I'm just trying to back you up.
Yeah, all is well. All is
right.
well. So it's Mr. Harris today.
Okay, Mr. Harris. Yeah. I can dig that. Again, we are going with the actual, not the AI version.
I promise you I almost did it. I promise you I almost did it. The guest that we're going to be having on later today, he's very much so into this whole AI stratosphere of things.
All right.
And so I kind of wanted to greet him in my AI Los garb. Decided probably not the best thing right now. So I'm just going to do me today.
All right. How was your weekend, man? Talk to me.
My weekend was fine. My weekend is fine. Again, I am in that phase where I absolutely enjoy getting up, coming to work, and because this is work, and it's just I feel alive right now, and it's just basically because of everything that's happening within the industry of technology. So I'm in that creative mode right now.
Yes.
Like, I showed you guys last week, I've written one book. I'm in the process of doing another. And at the same time, I just spent the last probably week in a hole dealing with building out chatbots, so I just feel like I'm a kid in a candy store again, or better yet, a kid at Christmas. For someone that have seen the evolution of technology over the years, and for me to be able to sit and still play with these tools and be able to create things, oh man, I absolutely love it every day.
Amen to that.
So I spent many of hours. I think I was up till this morning, probably. Well, I got home and I slept yesterday evening. I'm not going to lie. And so my wife got back from Cedar Point, as you were saying. She got back from Cedar Point probably at about, I don't know, it had to have been maybe 11 or something. I don't remember. I was asleep. But when she got back is when I got up, and I was up till probably about 4:30 this morning.
Plugging away.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I was just telling her this morning, if it was up to me and I didn't have to sleep, I wouldn't. I feel like I lose and I miss out on things when I have to sleep.
Yes.
And understand how this body operates. You don't have to want to go to sleep. It will go to sleep.
It's funny you mentioned that. Okay, so last week, Friday, went to work, anchored the morning show. Then for my birthday, I had some folks over, small gathering, a little birthday cake, a few libations, just very chill. But we're up to about midnight or so. All right, got up the next day, went to the gym. Then I anchored the evening shows Saturday night. All right, so then came home, chilled out, went to sleep, but just still go. Got up Sunday morning, went to the gym again, go. Then I was a dais announcer at the NAACP Fight for Freedom Fund Dinner at Huntington Place in downtown Detroit. 68th annual Freedom Fund Dinner, marking 60 years when MLK marched along Woodward Avenue, where he gave the original Have a Dream speech. So incredible moment in Detroit's history, in American history. Got to see a lot of incredible people, including Andrew Young, the first Black elected mayor of Atlanta, who worked side by side, literally, with King. He was one of the folks who is still around at 91, I believe, in the thick of it. Got to hear Senator Warnock out of Georgia, the first Black elected senator in the state of Georgia, speak. Great event, always a great event. So just go. And then, fortunately, I took Monday off from work. And when I woke up Monday, I said, whoa, wait a minute.
Cut it out.
I'm not.
You just turned 22. Huh? You just turned 22.
I just turned all of 22. And I woke up Monday morning after a nonstop weekend. I woke up out of my bed. I lifted up. I said,
See,
ooh, okay, I'm glad I took today off.
Yeah.
And I was still kind of dragging today on the air too. Like, it was fine, got the job done. Of course, you always get your job done. But I'm like, man, I can't grab my energy. I mean, granted, it's 4:00 in the morning, so that's always a challenge too. Right. But it was just like, just your body tells you when
it's time to shut down.
It's time to shut it down.
Yeah, or it's time to give it a break and get a rest.
You need a breather. We always need a breather. We want to keep go, keep plugging away, but sometimes we don't have a choice. Body says.
Hey, you know, I like the fact that you kind of trumped me with everything you had going on. I'm just saying, I heard all that, right? Now, I didn't mention that I had, the godson first birthday to go to. I do first birthdays.
Yeah, you do.
You know, the first year I do those birthdays.
After that, you're your own.
I'll fly across the country to your kid's first birthday. After that, they on their own, right? So then I also had a graduation for the Pathway to Prosperities program here over the Samaritan Center, where DSDT received another award this year, and I appreciate that. Again, those are individuals who are transitioning, whether they are in the criminal system or they've just gotten out or whatever, but the program affords them the opportunity to be able to connect with training or to connect with whatever they need in order to make that adjustment. So I'm always going to make it a point to get up and go, as well as my wife and I, we went to the Detroit Black Saturday. It's over at New Labs here at the Ford building. So again, it was go, which was fine and everything, but at the end of the day, I would much rather be sitting in front of the computer. That's just where I am right now, and I keep explaining about these distractions. I just feel like there's only so many more seconds we have. And I want to spend it doing what I'm just I guess I'm almost like the guy who wants to play the video game all day, the newest, greatest, game that just came out. I just want to be in the thick of it doing this right now.
Where your energy is focused.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't want to spend another waking moment, if I can, being distracted from what really is enthusing me right now. And I want everybody to catch fire like I am. It's almost as if it's contagious for me, I want everybody to feel that energy because that's where we're headed. So that's my 5 cents. I'm just saying. All right. All right. So first up today in our Let's Talk segment, let's talk.
Yes.
We want to bring on our person here at DSDT that keeps us, I feel like nowadays she plans everything and keeps us connected as far as the community with engagement, with opportunities. I wanted to bring on Miss Raquel Williams to talk to us about a silent auction that we're going to be having. So why don't we go ahead and bring Raquel on right now?
Okay.
Hey. I walked into DSDT a moment ago and it was silent.
Why?
It was just silent.
That's probably a good thing.
It was soothing.
Right.
It was just soothing.
You haven't been here all day, I promise you. You haven't.
And I saw this lovely lady.
Yeah.
Right there front.
Okay.
Holding it down.
There she is. Mrs. Williams. Miss Williams, how are you today?
I would be lucky to be Mrs. Williams.
I'm about to marry her. Well, where's Mr. Williams right now? Mrs. Williams?
I'm not marrying her. She's going to work on that herself. Miss Williams, can you please explain to me, if not everybody else, what is this silent auction about?
So the silent auction is really an opportunity for us to raise funds for our institutional scholarship programs, but we really wanted to make it a fun night where we can connect with the community, business owners and influencers can come together and really network and make an impact in the community.
Okay, so I asked this, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. Why do we need this silent auction fundraiser? What's the real purpose behind it?
We need money. We need to raise money for students who cannot afford education through traditional ways, whether maybe they're not eligible for financial aid or they don't have any government assistance or benefits to help them with their education. They can't just drop down $18,000 or $21,000 cash down for a program. We need help from the community to help these people.
Yeah. Why don't we just go ahead and do a round of applause for that? The reason I asked it the way that I did was specifically for you to say all of that. We have to understand that DSDT has been here now in this location since 2016. And since we have been here, I could probably give you an Excel spreadsheet of those tuitions that we have allowed to come through on a scholarship basis. And in the past, scholarship means to Karlos is primarily I gave the class to them for free in many occasions. Just thinking about the population that we serve, the demographics. Well, guess what? We now have legislation that is saying that, Karlos, you can't do that anymore. You simply just cannot do it. You just can't, give somebody a class without having dollars to support that giving.
Break down the reason.
Well, it's real simple. Well, if I really want to break down the reason,
break it down.
Listen, it seems to me I'm just going to tell you in the Karlos way. I'm not going to give it you politically correct at all.
Okay,
right?
Politically correct-ish.
No, I'm going to give it to you the way that it is, Josh.
Okay.
All right.
I asked. I get it.
At the end of the day, you have public versus private institutions, and there's more dollars that are being allocated to public that they don't want the private institutions to even be able to tap into any longer. So any type of legislation that they can come up with in order to kind of divert those dollars back to public is what they're doing. So to me, this is another case of that, right? We've been doing a significant job over the years in training those individuals who come to us based on a need. And in many cases, they don't have the dollars. And if they did use public funding, FAFSA or whatever the case may have been in the past, maybe they're in a default stage. Maybe they have some other things going on. Maybe their credit score doesn't afford them to be able to go into a bank or to go with some of our other lenders in order to get the tuition. So at the end of the day, Karlos had to make a rational decision, say, okay, maybe they walked in and said, Karlos, I can't pay the full tuition, but I can pay this. All right, well, we're going to waive the rest of the remainder of the debt. Now we can't do that. So if we do that, then it's actually counted against us when it comes to auditing. And that was the biggest issue with our auditors this time around. Yeah. So to get ourselves out of this jam in the future is, I guess we just basically have to do it like the public institutions as well.
Fundraisers.
So this fundraiser has been set up by Mrs. Williams and specifically her. And we are trying to raise as many dollars as possible to offset the scholarships that we already give on those as needed basis.
Give me a ballpark of how much one class costs.
So classes range anywhere from $5K to $22K. Okay. It just depends.
Okay.
Month-long classes are roughly around $5K.
Okay.
And the overall, the longer programs are about $22K. I say $22K, but it's actually $18, but $22 if you're going through financial aid for various reasons, housing, whatever. But I think what needs to also be said is that when you're talking about how much is the education, I dare you at any given time to take the cost of these classes and parallel them with your community college, with your university, and see where these classes actually stand price compared. Because I already know for a fact that it still won't reach the number that some of the public institutions have assessed their classes to be. One. Two, another great thing about the classes that we offer is that we don't give you the fluff. We don't give you the prerequisites. We don't give you the basket weaving. We don't give you a lot of the classes that you really don't need in order to get to education to be placeable. And when I say placeable, in order that you would get employment. That's the biggest thing about us, remembering that we are a trade school. So in fact, if we're able to get you trained as expeditiously as possible, then we can get you to a job. And to me, at the end of the day, that's really what it's about, right?
First time holding this kind of fundraiser?
Absolutely. Okay. First time. Why?
Right.
Because this is the first time that Raquel wanted to do it.
All right. How are we getting the word out, man? We're only we're less than a month away now.
All right, Raquel. So that's you. That's your cue. How are we getting the word out?
Yeah, so we've been using social media to, promote the event. I've been actually taking it old school and going out and handing out flyers, like connecting with members of the community and small business owners to invite people. So we have some influencers helping us. Robert Courtney, he's a realtor, a business influencer. He's helping
we know
us
who Rob
get
Courtney
the word
is.
out. So yeah, we've brought in some help, and we've just been promoting it using social media mainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send out that flyer my way too. I'll pump it on my social media.
Most definitely. See there, we got to talk to the influencers who know people who know people who know people.
Right.
Right. All right. So Raquel.
All right. So in a quick snippet, just talk about real quick, Raquel, how this auction is going to benefit students here at DSDT. Give it to us one more time.
Yeah, so the auction is going to allow students who cannot access this type of education, whether it's for financial reasons or credit, like Carlos was mentioning. This is going to allow them to have access to that education. We have developed 5 different scholarship funds to really target specific communities. And as our scholarship foundation grows, we will add more, but right now we're really focusing on women, Black and brown people, and young people who are looking to enter the technology or the healthcare sector. So that's where the proceeds from all of this fundraising will go towards.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Why don't you give it? That's what I'm saying. Give it another one. Now, you guys have to remember now, Miss Williams weren't you valedictorian of your class?
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure we always highlight that. I want to highlight that because she shows up and shows out every time she puts her mind to it.
You go, girl.
So we appreciate you. And again, when is this? It's this July what now?
20th.
So it's July 20th at 6:30 p.m. We have a wide range of items for people to auction on. We have travel packages for all you travel enthusiasts. Like Carlos, if you like to travel, you can get on some of these packages. We have a Under the Tuscan Sun package, which is it's a 6-night, 4-people vacation. It's in a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment in Tuscany. You have a personal concierge, a private wine tasting. All of that comes with the package. We have a Disney package that's available for bidding. Everybody loves Disney, right?
Yeah.
That Disney package comes with $1,000 Disney gift card too. So you have some money to spend while you're there because it's expensive. So we have some great items. We have some chiropractic adjustments. We actually just got a signed baseball from the Detroit Tigers today from the Tigers manager, AJ Hinch. So we really have some really exciting items and experiences.
And they know what this cost is for.
Auction.
Okay.
All right. Listen, again, I want to say thank you, Mrs. Williams. There I go again, Mrs. Williams. I'm calling those things that are not
coming into existence.
There you go. I'm just going to speak it, right? I really appreciate you taking on a moment to come and express and explain this to us. We definitely are looking for more items to place into this auction. So any and everybody within the sound of this broadcast, if you would like to get in contact with us here and there's something that you would like to donate, make sure that you reach out to Miss Raquel Williams at, what's your email account, Raquel?
You can email me at raquel.williams@dsdt.tech. But we also have a website available. So if you want to donate an item, or if you want to bid on the item, or if you want to make a monetary donation, you can go to dsdt.betterworld.org. That's dsdt.betterworld.org. You can put your item donation in, it'll come to me, and then I'll reach out to you. You can make a monetary donation there. You can learn more about our cause or purchase tickets to the silent auction on that website.
Definitely. Appreciate you. And we will be putting that down somewhere in the description, the link for you to have all that information.
Oh, real quick, what's the food going to look like? You're including dinner. I mean, what's the food going to look like?
We have a dinner menu, so we have some chicken. You know, we have some vegetables. We're gonna feed everybody.
All right, I'm just saying, you know, when you put dinner on that flyer, you just have to make sure you feed people right too. We are in Detroit.
Make sure we come back and get us a plate.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Raquel, thank you, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right.
All right. Thanks for having me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. So again, that's the silent auction fundraiser. That's going to be Thursday, July 20th. Make sure you're showing up at 6:30 p.m. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just wanted to take a moment to say a little bit something about this. I know this happened like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't think we actually had a show that week. And I was thinking as we were preparing for the day, so many times we talk about things that officers do, right? Whether it be the Floyd, not Mayweather, Mayweather, the incident with Floyd. What's Floyd's last name?
Floyd,
Minneapolis. Oh man. Anyhow.
George Floyd.
George Floyd. There
George
we go.
Floyd.
Come on, man. Work
George
with
Floyd.
me here. We'd be horrible at charades because we would have lost right then and there.
I was trying to think of a last name, but it's George Floyd. Yes, George Floyd.
Regardless of what the incident is, we always are talking about what officers do for the most part. And I wanted to kind of bring some awareness to what was not done. And I think that is commendable. And I looked everywhere. I don't know if you have it, Josh, but I was looking for the name of the officer who actually fought off the assailant in the gas station as they were trying to disarm him. And I think that is also needed to commend him. I mean, if there was the highest award in the land to give this officer for what he did, then he deserves it. So shout out to whoever the officer was. I don't know your name. I wish I knew your name because don't nobody want to write your name, you know. But at the end of the day, it's commendable what you did, and we really do appreciate you here specifically in the city of Detroit.
Absolutely. Look, all police departments deal with community challenges, protect and serve 100%. Detroit in particular, they take on an extra task, if you will. And what I really appreciate about the Detroit Police Department, despite the challenges that they deal with every single day, 99.9% of their officers I've encountered during my time back home are still approachable. They're one of you. They're with the people. They're here to help. And despite, again, the stuff we cover day in and day out, they are some of the warmest people you will come across. So to see these kind of ordeals happen, it's like, my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, when I was at the NAACP Fight for Freedom Fund dinner the other day, as announcer, I was on stage on the yellow stage side by side with Police Chief James White and an executive and administrator, a leader within Detroit Public School Community District. She walked over to the chief and just commended him on his work and how he leads the DPD. And I politely intruded that conversation by saying, I would like to add this. Here's what you are, Chief. You're authoritative, but also approachable. And that's not easy to accomplish, especially working in a city like Detroit. So I'm with you, man. You really have to commend the DPD on everything they deal with. And it's a darn shame you have to see this kind of incident, someone attacking a police officer. Period. We don't even have to. It's one of those you don't even have to explain. It's self-explanatory.
It's one of them things that make you go,
It does. It absolutely does.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and bring in our tech news enthusiast of the week to have a conversation? You guys already know who she is. Amber Boom. Amber, how was your day? Does she know who she's here?
Amber Boone. Trying to take her phone off mute, I believe.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Ooh, I love it when we're live and we're having mic issues, and it's like, what do we
Right.
do? Do we keep
Right,
going? Do
this
we
is
pull
real
out
simple.
of it? But hey, it's all good, Amber. We see you. We're rolling with you. We're gonna wait for you.
Yeah. Amber Boone, everybody.
Aww. Well, it says we can't unmute on our end because the guest has decided to mute themselves.
Yeah.
That was the notification, literally.
Okay, Amber.
I read it verbatim.
So I think what we're going to do is actually come back to this segment. Okay. That's the first time for everything.
Yeah,
right.
You roll with the punches.
Just first time for everything. So why don't we bag it up? Take
a step back.
Right? Mm-hmm. We're going to have these technicalities figured out.
Oh, yeah. It's all good. It's all good. You go to commercial break.
Break.
I actually anchored a 2-hour newscast earlier this year with no lights in the studio. Solar.
No lights in the studio.
Yeah. What was it? The solar. It was something. Solar something. I don't know that allegedly knocked out our lights. We believe that was part of the reason. We don't know. But we walked to the studio. We anchored a 2-hour newscast with no lights on. It was like, hey, yeah, you go with the flow.
Absolutely,
you roll with the punches.
Absolutely. You do.
Technical difficulties happen all the time.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and go here then?
Okay.
So I am super excited to have this conversation. So I just explained to you guys over the last week, I have been in this hole where I've been working with chatbots and I've been doing my own little development because ultimately I want this to be another class that's offered here at DSDT. So I'm the kind of person that I like to go in there and break it myself, figure it out so that when I hear conversations about it, I can actually have value to add or to gather from it. Let me tell you, last week, I happened to meet somebody that literally, when I talk to him, is like listening to the teacher. This guy is so phenomenal. I just had to have him on today to kind of break down what's happening around this whole, whether it be these large language model crazes or whether it be just marketing in general or just all of it. I wanted to bring him to kind of introduce him to the community, to have a conversation about what his thoughts are. So without me giving all this fanfare, because you guys know I can talk long anyways, it don't matter. I want to go on and bring on Mr. Ryan Baggot.
Man, I'll tell you, that was a heck of an intro.
Was it? Did I do you justice?
Man, I'll tell you what, that I'm usually in that spot and I'm freestyling on the top of my head. What am I gonna say? And I'm looking at all the facts. Man, I don't think I've ever had it that well done in my shoes and this side of the table. That was awesome. Thank you all so much. Y'all have a great production on this whole show. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. We are glad to have you here, Absolutely. My friend. And at the end of the day, everything that's said is definitely it's the 100% truth, right? Now I was telling you earlier actually that I've spent a lot of time watching your content. I've been watching that digital footprint over the last few days because I like to know who I'm dealing with.
Right.
And when I go and I look at some of the things that you have been a part of, I literally am like, wow, this guy's the real deal. You know, and it's no denying that. So if you could, can you kind of introduce yourself to our community, who you are and why it is that I wanted to have you here with this conversation?
I'll do my best. I'll tell you, I'm glad that you started off that way because that is absolutely intentional. I think we've talked about it at least in short length about Gary V and the way I say it, hashtag pre-NFT Gary V. This was my guy. And he was coming about when I first saw him in like 2014. He was coming about where all these other influencers, before that was a term, were coming out making all this money by renting the vehicles and doing their videos in front of these big houses that weren't theirs and trying to sell you on these false hopes, essentially, these courses. But Gary Vee was that guy who always put it straight, right? And so I loved that when I first saw it. It was the first time I saw a business person in a light that just made them look so cool, at least to me. And so I always wanted to kind of emulate that. If I ever saw someone in my space that was more or less a fraud, whether they know it or not, I was always going to be that person that you wouldn't want to be around me and claim something that wasn't true in our marketing space, because I will tell you why you're wrong real quick. And here's the evidence. So that, I'm glad you pointed that out. But yeah, my name is Ryan. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. So not anywhere close to being the tech capital of anything. As a matter of fact, the area that I'm living in now is just maybe 30 miles away from where I was born, called Hilton Head Island in South Carolina, just right over the state line. And the area is known as the Low Country, but we've got a saying it's the slow country because everything's just so behind, it feels like. At this point, 2023, I think we've come a long way as far as technology and the adoption of technology. But what's kind of put me in this arena of AI, apart from just digital marketing, which has been my whole career for the most part, in 2020 when we had the pandemic, I saw the opportunity to use features provided by Facebook to help businesses in my area have online success in an environment where they've never had to rely on online orders, or many restaurants didn't even have websites, because here where I live on Hilton Head, it's just, you have a good business. There's so many tourists that come year round. You're bound to, basically survive if you're okay. And if you're good, you'll make a lot of money as a business owner here. That's just because of the supply and demand, essentially, and the standards set here by the actual town. So anyways, when the pandemic hit, and now all of these businesses, a lot of them restaurants, I think we've got like 250 restaurants in a 14 square mile radius of an island. So it's a lot of places to eat. There's a lot of tourists that come. But now when they can't open their doors, I'm seeing friends, my peers, people that are younger than me, older than me, lose their jobs, but not just their jobs, lose their businesses, or actually have to leave the island or the area because their businesses shut down and now they can't afford the next mortgage payment. And so they're gone and they don't know what they're going to do. They're going to go with their family. And I was just seeing this happen so fast. And because of all the uncertainty, I really didn't know what I was going to do being in marketing, because, how are you going to market in some of these businesses that require foot traffic if you can't open the doors? So this was a huge, huge problem. By chance, before this, pandemic stuff happened, I had been, social media my whole career, like I said, but I had gotten infatuated in 2018 with basic rule-based automation. So your standard chatbots that a lot of people have never experienced, believe it or not. And I figured you could solve out so many problems with this, Facebook provided API. Using the power of Facebook, you could solve a lot of problems with this feature. And I didn't know all of this was possible. So when I discovered this and unlocked a lot of things, and I invented Tap the Table, which is an application that allows a restaurant to immediately go from having no website, no way to make a sale online, to, if you can take a picture of your food, give it a name for your item, pepperoni pizza, and a price, you can immediately sell it on any social media channel. That was the whole goal. It was the fastest way for my friends and the local business owners here to make online sales in an environment they'd never had to do that before. And so luckily I got some little press, some little local news that a lot of important people did see that. Yep, there's the website there. And shout out to Riley, who's like the area's top reporter, a couple of different segments, and some of the right eyeballs saw the software, and it's still to this day doing really, really well. This is my first SaaS product.
Yeah, Ryan. Hey, what are some of the challenges you faced creating an AI chatbot building platform, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Well, we're if you've played with ChatGPT, that little chat interface. While we've had many conversations in like Messenger or text messaging back and forth with a human, Chat GPT is so much different, right? I think you can agree that that feeling you first get when you have a successful, like you tell the chatbot something or you ask a question, you get exactly what you want out of it. That feeling is the feeling that I get whenever I'm able to programmatically tell a chatbot in the same sense, think of the same UI, the same window, tell it what I want it to do, but it follow my words exactly. So for example, if I need it to perform a math equation to provide the correct amount of volume of pine straw or mulch needed for a large landscape company to provide their customers, call it Lowe's, you want to know how much mulch you need. And so you go to Lowe's website or their chatbot and you tell the chatbot how much area you need to cover with mulch. This is a basic math problem that a lot of humans will get incorrect. Not so surprised. We are reliant on computers and such. But the bot will never get it wrong. And so if you program the bot correctly, no matter how that customer enters in the information, it could understand what we want to get out of it. So challenges that I love to overcome are technical, complex problems that usually require a great amount of thought to like overcome or like get to the right answer. I just get excited to have the end result
in terms of
based on a problem. Yep.
Definitely understood. Good points right there, Ryan. In terms of customer engagement, how do you see the future with what kind of influence chatbot can have?
Well, I think we're seeing it in real time in a lot of different ways. I'm seeing jobs get replaced in real time. From my view, think of your secretary. It's actually very scary and very worrisome in a lot of ways. But if you're a large enterprise, take it to big business, and you've got a team of secretaries, called it for lack of better terms, that are answering the phone. Well, now instead of having those 4 or 5 secretaries, you really only need, in a lot of cases, we're seeing the best one, or maybe the best 2, and have AI and automation take care of the most common, or in this case nowadays, complex tasks, and then have that human oversee. Because think about the conversations you're having on the phone. To give a really good service to someone over the phone, you're going to have to focus on that conversation. Am I right? You're one-to-one. Well, you cannot provide the same level of service at the same exact time to 2 different people, because 2 people have different problems. The automation solves this at scale in a massive way. So your best secretary on their best day doing their best work is what today's chatbots and automation are. So when you have all of these questions solved, the business doesn't need those bodies there to just collect the paycheck if they're not doing anything to quantify why they're getting the check at this point when it's being taken care of. This is one of the scariest things. And, this is, you think that's secretary work. Well, you can automate a lot of things when you think of Chat GPT and robots, which is where we're headed, that no one wants to talk about, that we don't have to talk about today, but it's getting wild.
Listen, I just want to take 1 second, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this because I can do this, right? Okay. So Josh.
Yes.
You know the programs that we offer here at DSDT.
Correct.
And I'm just going to give it to you. Basically, it's Digital Marketing Professional, Technology 2, Technology 6. We have a medical assistance program, and we also have full stack development. I'm just going to give you those 5 programs, okay? Of those 5 programs, I want you to choose one that you would like. If you were taking it as a student, which of the 5 would interest you?
Digital marketing.
Digital marketing. Okay, great. So if digital marketing, what job, what employment opportunity would you like to see, or would you like to obtain after taking the digital marketing course?
Well, I say digital marketing because I feel like it's a wide range.
Okay, so why it's broad.
Yeah.
All right. So give me the name of a job opportunity at the end of that digital marketing course.
Okay, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing every day, digital marketing,
Mhm.
digital marketing. I would say computer design.
Computer design. What the hell? Computer design. Graphic designer?
Graphic designer.
We could possibly get a
Yeah.
graphic designer from that.
Okay.
All right, great. So say, for instance, there was a chat bot
Mm.
that we could actually incorporate into our services here
Okay.
that would allow you to communicate back and forth with it. And also it would prime you for these employment opportunities that would be accessible because you took the course, and you would have an opportunity for graphic designer.
Mhm.
All right. Now, the reason Ryan is here, I want you guys to get a load of this.
Greetings, my name is Jamila, and I am a career services specialist at DSDT. As part of my role, I provide comprehensive support in the hiring and selection process, including conducting in-depth interviews to assess candidates' qualifications and fit for the role. Today, I will be working with you to enhance your interviewing skills by posing as the interviewer and asking a series of questions that are commonly asked during interviews. It is essential to provide thoughtful, honest, and appropriate answers at all times. Once the session is complete, I will offer detailed feedback to aid in your development. To begin, may I kindly request that you state and spell your full name?
My name is Josh Landon. You can spell it.
Can you share which DSDT program you're currently registered for or have completed in the past?
Yeah, I took digital marketing.
May I know the specific job, position, or title that you are keen on applying for?
Graphic designer.
As a graphic designer, can you share a specific project you worked on that challenged your creativity and how you overcame it?
All right, so I want to stop right there, right? Because to me, that's that wow factor. If you understand what just happened, we have gone from a time to where it's simply a bunch of prompts that are placed into a system, and if this, then that. In other words, if Josh says this, then it will say this, something that Ryan or Carlos scripted, right? The platform that he's created, it's called ChatGPTbuilder.io. The platform that he's built, it's built upon OpenAI's ChatGPT, which means that it can have conversations with you as if you were typing it into a prompt and looking for the answer right then and there. To me, it is phenomenal, right? It literally gave me the ability to be able to create an app, an assistant for our career services department, because I kept getting complaints. And the complaints were, we've reached out to the ladies. They haven't followed back up with us. We're looking for employment opportunities. We need to be able to get access, blah, blah, blah. And so when I came across this platform, I was already thinking along the lines of, we need some sort of automated system, right? I didn't know that there was something out there that could afford us the ability to be able to create it kind of like a WordPress for websites. Now, if you remember, Josh, you've been around a little bit. I know Ryan has been around quite a bit. There was a time when you would try to build a website. You couldn't get a website built for anything less than maybe 30 to 50K, maybe even a little bit more, but the price went down the more and more tools came to market that allowed everybody to be able to do it. WordPress being one, Wix being another, Squarespace being another. I see his platform as being the WordPress of building chatbots. The communication that you can have and can automate that within your processes is unimaginable up until now. So hands down, I say that, Ryan, because of that, you know what you deserve today, my friend?
What's that?
Well, besides everything else they normally gonna give you.
Come on,
right?
you're supposed to punch it up just now.
Besides everything else they give you along that, they do.
You can do it!
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, you are You are hands down probably you are one of the best creators this side of this whole AI craze that I've came across thus far. And you deserve your roses for that.
I really appreciate that. You're awesome. I think WordPress is a great way to look at that in the aspect of, it's open source. I wanted this to feel like it's open source. Obviously, this is it's a business. At the end of the day, like I can't offer everything and then provide free access to ChatGPT for your own system like we were doing if it wasn't a business. But I wanted it to feel like you could totally do whatever you wanted to do. And so we're seeing that. You're proof of that. I'm obviously not going to spoil any of your beans there that what we've talked about. That's confidential, obviously, but this book is going to have your book here. I love it. I've got it on my desk. Man, you're going to have part 2. I can't wait to see what that is. I think you're going to shatter different records that don't even exist yet. You're going to create. I think that AI is here to stay. The cat's out of the bag, basically. And so now I think that it's going to be a matter of, are you going to be someone that is in control and understands the way that works, or are you going to be like the general population and not cater so much and just kind of go with the flow and have your life's not going to be worse because of it, is the goal. But there is a different level of understanding when someone is using, like, say, a prompt to write me a story versus the person that allows for the app to be available to allow for that story to be written. And that's where you are. And it's so cool to see what people all over the world are making. And they're far more creative than I am. So I'm the hammer maker. You guys are the craftsman, which is the cool thing to see.
Yeah. So I was sitting actually this morning as I was coming out of my lab at 4:30. I spoke to my wife.
We are in the lab. You are not exaggerating.
I'm in the
Staying
lab.
in the lab.
I'm in the lab.
All right.
So as I'm coming out, and I was talking to my wife in passing as we're getting ready to come to the school, I said, you know what, babe? I think I want to implement another course. And she was like, okay, so what is it? And Ryan, you inspired this. I told her, and before you guys, because I already know how my team is, don't nobody file anything until I say it's time, okay? I gotta get everything mapped out. But the course is going to be, now remember, we have had iOS development. We have now full stack development. Because of you, Ryan, and how simple you have made it for the average everyday Joe Blow individuals that's looking and trying to figure out where they're going to be once the smoke clears with this AI craze, we are going to start a chatbot development course here at DSDT.
So cool. That's so cool.
We are going to start that.
That'll be probably the first in the country, so cool.
As soon as we can get the ink to dry on the applications that we have to file, I want that class like yesterday. And all the reason the more why I spend time researching. I remember I once had a friend a long time ago, and the friend, he owned a number of Dunkin' Donuts. And when I first met him, he was telling me how he had just gone to Florida and he spent a week working at a Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm like, why the hell would you do that? Right? He's like, Carlos, because I want to know what I'm getting myself into. And it makes sense now. When I spend the last week of my time understanding that I don't have a lot of it to spend anywhere, seems nowadays, but when I spend the last week of my time and I'm sitting and I'm tinkering with these applications that are coming so rapidly at us, seems like every day you're in the beta trial for some product, some solution. But when I spend my time in it and I think, wow, it's like, you know what, how can we give that to our community? It's not about just simply offering it at DSDT. It's not simply about another class I want to add. I see the potential and the opportunities that are coming way out yonder. And I want our community to have access to that. And that is the one thing that Ryan has afforded us quicker than anybody else. If you sat down and tried to figure out whether it was Dialogflow or trying to build bots in Willow or whatever the case may have been, it's difficult. I don't want it to be difficult. I want it to be easy enough that anybody can learn it so that we can get you placed with the companies that are looking for it like yesterday. So Ryan, again, my friend, I thank you and I appreciate you for inspiring me to be able to connect those dots with our community.
You're so awesome, man. I just want to say this. When I was really young, my father was in computers for the government, so I was always around like giant computer towers. Like they don't even make them anymore. Get my camera gear off. Okay. Around computers my whole life, even in diapers, right? So it was never really a thing. I remember the first time I was looking at Microsoft Word. The only thing I could think of is one day I'm just going to be able to type what I want this whole document to be, and it's just going to be. I didn't, imagine it streaming through like ChatGPT does, but I knew that one day that we'd all have that. Well, now that we do, now I'm 33 years old, 34 in September, so it's right around the corner. So I guess I was maybe like 10 or so, probably having this thought. What really has just happened is programming and coding and knowing all of the things that used to matter in this space don't matter anymore, because the AI systems know more than I will ever know, or a team of programmers will ever know. The AI will tell us when we're wrong. And still currently, like, it would be very hard to beat, even if you're the best.
Yep.
So what this means is everyone now can have that app they always wanted, but either A, couldn't afford the development because it was like 10 times as much as a website is, or $150,000 to have like a real solid app, or you're going through a freelancer. It's still going to cost 10 to 25, or you're going to spend 6 months trying to learn something that you never really get past the third or fourth step on your own and watching YouTube videos, because it's not possible without real experience and hands-on education. So now with that thought of, I want this essay to be on the paper or whatever, now it's that app when you can connect things in a flow scenario like you're doing so well. And now literally all that's the limit is your creativity. And so I can't wait for you to tell eventually the world your idea we talked about, because that is industry changing at scale, which is like, that's the ultimate goal, is to have something that impacts scale at, from your school level to your community level to your country to the world in a positive way. That is the the good guy's ultimate goal. So you can do it.
Sometimes they just get wild around here, man. I'm sorry. I apologize. Listen,
real quick, before we let you go, Ryan, one more question Karlos had laid out that I definitely want to throw out there one more time. What advice do you have for businesses looking to leverage AI chatbots for their own operations?
Oh, good answer. Good question.
Yeah. So there's two sides to the coin. Just like on the web, you've got search and you've got social. That's really the two sides of the web as I see it. In the world of AI agents or chatbots, there are two sides to that coin as well. And so you've got the customer facing side, and that ranges on channels from your Facebook Messenger, Instagram, your website chatbot, your phone number associated with your business that allows for text messaging back and forth. And like you just demonstrated, the phone system itself, when you want to take a business phone call, well, now you can achieve that with AI in a lot of different fun ways. Fun fact, the first celebrity that actually used my AI was Wiz Khalifa. That was in 2020. And so
you can do it!
Million fans, like I want to say it was just on Facebook, but it was a giant number. But launching his food business, Hot Bites, I believe it's called now, that was a huge push and a huge use case to see scale for my first time of that way. Someone with that many fans and followers had to push people from one place to another place within a social network. It was so cool to see. But I think you could use this technology to benefit your customer. That should be where your mind always is, your customer's journey. What's going to give them the best experience? Is it some person possibly not answering the phone, so they got to call back or leave a message? Or is it allow them to deal with some trained automation that could give them the correct answer off rip?
Yeah.
That's one way. And then you've got the internal side of things, where I just did this last night for a real estate company. You take all that information about that real estate company, dump it into your prompt essentially, And so now when someone in that real estate office needs the phone number of the broker, or they need the email of whoever they need the email of within their organization, all they would need to do is text message the number associated, or click the web chat associated with that office, say, hey, what's Ryan's cell phone number? And bam, instantly, here's the returned answer. Chat GPT can't do that. You have to understand. If you ask Chat GPT right now for Ryan's number, it's not going to give it to you, I don't think. But your own chat bot powered by Chat GPT internally for your business could totally do that, along with writing emails and sending it and so on. So I think there's so much to take advantage of. Keep an open mind, but just don't have shiny object syndrome. And you don't need to look at every single tool. And the best thing to do is discover what problem you want to solve with first and go from there.
I think also, Ryan, because I don't want this to be taken away or not mentioned. So I have outside teams that market for the school as well as internally. And I just saw yesterday, I think it was, there was a lead generated through a landing page that came through my system. And I thought in that instant, like, why are you guys doing that? Because in my mind, that's so 2012. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
When you
There's
realize,
levels,
when you realize what these bots are capable of and what your platform allows us to be able to do, it's like, throw that away and focus all of your attention and effort over here. I mean, even now when you call to the school, our 313-263-4200 number, those are kind of automated messages, pre-recorded, pre-text.
And you don't get any data unless you're looking at the phone bill, right? You don't know how many times Ryan's called the school.
Sometimes they can't even get through. I'm just saying. Saying. But now, so I have this persona around here. Her name is Jamila. Jamila is built on the persona of my wife. I call her Jamila sometimes. And so Jamila pretty soon will be answering the phones here. And as you've already stated, whenever you call and you get one of these bots, you have the potential to have all of the data that's associated with that organization at your disposal.
Exactly.
It's not like you're just talking to the guy that's in the digital, that's an admissions representative, or the person that's an instructor. It's all of it, and so, and not only that, but you're having a conversation with it. I think that's also what's kind of like, wow, to me, because I remember the days when you had to call cross country to the answer machine and put in the code in order to get the messages.
I said this yesterday, and it was, I listened back and I realized this is so big. The reason that we haven't all loved the automation that you deal with, like when you call your pharmacy, press 1, press 2, whatever, or the traditional, unless you're a nerd like me, I loved the traditional chatbots, the rule-based stuff, because I could get creative and you couldn't fool me. And it was fun. But the reason everyone doesn't love that, but they love Chat GPT, is it's very easy to trick or make a rule-based or automated answering machine not understand you. So then you think, well, you're dumb. Why am I wasting my time with you? Because it's a psychology thing. If the answering machine for CVS is looking for you to say, press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and you're like, nah, I want a human. And then the thing says, sorry, I didn't understand that. Press, and then it repeats. Like, you're like, I hate this. You're stupid. Like, why am I wasting my time? I never thought about it before, but like that has to be the psychology of, I'm wasting my time with whatever I'm talking to, because it's not a real person, because it doesn't even understand this easy thing. So maybe it understands my prescription number and my phone number to find if it's ready or not. But if I ask, where are you located, because this is trained on just this one thing, it goes, sorry, please give me your prescription number again. You get it? Like now with OpenAI's large language models, that doesn't happen. And you can, in your prompt, say, if you don't know the answer or you're not completely certain, respond in this way. And this is where the prompt engineering and your book actually will become in such handy when people can take it that step further to make the Chat GPT do things outside of just chat back and forth. We've got this stuff working with machines out there in the world right now. A text message could come in and your machine is being read to see how much gas you have left. For example, this is a real thing. And so what you're doing, you're unlocking all the things with the way you're thinking, and it's so fun to see and be a part of.
And you know what? So he makes me think, right? This guy's phenomenal.
I'm getting you excited too up there.
I get
see you
chills. I get
smiling,
chills.
man. I see you smiling. It's fun.
It puts you kind of in the mindset of what we always talk about. Are we going to lose jobs? Then yeah, we are.
Yes.
Just go ahead and say it.
It'll happen.
You know, snatch the curtains back. People are going to lose jobs. But it's those individuals who get in early to understand the skills, the tools that are now at your disposal that create even better jobs for themselves.
Exactly. That secretary scenario, and I'm going to shut up. I'm talking too much. But the
no, you're not. Go ahead.
The 4-team secretary scenario, you understand that for sure. Mark my words. Those 3 secretaries that are not as good as whoever is kept, that money will be distributed back to that person who is now doing a lot more than just answering phone call after phone call, because now he or she is able to manage all conversations across all channels, looking at a screen here or a screen there. And so now instead of $37,000 a year, this secretary is making, she's making 85 because she's dealing with a much higher level potential touch point when you're dealing with all of these conversations.
Ryan, hold on. How much did you say they're making what?
Well, you get the idea. Like
you can do it. You get the idea, and you can do it.
You know, they'll keep some of that money, but they're going to have to, because the job has changed. No one will be better than that person to manage that job, even though it's a new thing that will be asked. Before, he or she was answering the phone. Now she's seeing the phone calls taken in real time, 10 at the time coming in, and she's able to then make an executive human decision. Oh crap, this person is having a rough time getting the answer they're looking for. Let's jump in. That's a much higher level of service. Meanwhile, all the other calls in queue, they're just getting all the answers as fast as the questions come in. So this will happen. Those 3 secretaries, the thing that we don't know is what happens to those displaced people. No one, including OpenAI, sorry, Sam, no one's giving any answers here, and they're being very, very vague, and they're putting everything in these papers that very few people read. I read them, and it's scary. But again, Sarah, who stays, she's going to have like triple the income where she's leaving. You know, you're going to have humans control the AI in every situation. So there's got to be a human handoff. Otherwise, it's not going to end up working the way it's designed.
That's true. That's true. And that's the one thing that also we have to make note of. There will always be humans needed somewhere in the process. You know, we may lose. I mean, if I have a department of 38, we might lose 20 of them. But at the end of the day, the other 18 will still be needed to do X, Y, and Z, because it's still human to human contact. You know, we can put all of the middle bots that we want to and automate all of the services in between. But at the end of the day, it's going to be human to human. So we don't want to miss bringing notice to that point as well.
Listen, I think you nailed something there as far as accountability goes. You know, you have to have the human in place, say in the bank scenario, of a human doing something to verify X, Y, or Z. Because if the automation, the AI does make a mistake, that bank can't just like point to the, sorry, it was our chat GPT's made a mistake, which that will be like the biggest excuse in schools probably in the next coming years. Oh crap, chat GPT made a mistake on my paper or whatever.
Hold on now. The lawyers that filed the brief, they blamed it on chat GPT.
Oh my God, you're right. I've not kept up with all the things.
It wasn't my fault. It was the AI's fault.
That's insane. Disbarred immediately. It should be crazy stuff, but it's really wild to see. I think the world needs people like you guys to help steer this stuff in the right direction. Otherwise, we will be in for some bad times quickly. But if the good guys that have the steering wheel, right, I think that everyone has a chance to have a much better quality of life. That's the ultimate goal. But we've, as thought leaders, this is including us on this podcast right now, it is our legit responsibility that even myself, we're not taking into account hard enough. This is coming so fast, and no one actually has a plan. Not Elon Musk, not Sam Altman. We don't know what's going to happen. So those other 3 secretaries, I would think about these people. Literally, I told you this when I first met you. I think about this every single night, and it bothers me. But we got to have a solution some way. And again, I think it's best that we are steering this kind of thing versus someone with just giant greed, not caring at all. So I think that's where we are.
Yeah. I'm the guy that's standing out here on the frontier, and everybody that rolled up on a horse, I'm telling them to leave their horses and jump in these new Mustangs we're about to ride out in.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying.
like that idea.
You know, let's leave your horse. Let's just get in these machines that's going to take us to the next evolution in life. Listen, man, we so appreciate you taking our time.
So
I know
fun.
you're a busy person. If everybody within the community wanted to reach out and see what you're developing, what's going on with you, how can they find you, where and when and how?
Yeah, I'm pretty easy to find just by typing my name. Got a pretty unique ChatGPT builder is our focus. If you're a restaurant and you're looking for that great solution to like solve your digital problems, that's still going to be your best bet as far as what we offer. But our main focus has definitely shifted to ChatGPTbuilder.io. There's Kelly, the bot queen. If you don't know who that lady is, she's a big reason that the whole platform or technology exists, because she's taught millions of people over the internet since 2016 or 17, like how to make chatbots in the most basic way. And when I saw the video from her that showed how you can make a chatbot count for you to count variables in a quiz, that's when everything changed in my whole brain, from going from the content guy in social media, making all the content for the clients and managing all the things and hating the inbox and not really liking the community management so much when it's a tough question to ask.
Right.
Now, totally, when I saw that, I was like, okay, quantifying worth, done. ROI, easy to account for. The inbox is the money box. The proof is there. I get it. She's the reason for that. So she gets so much credit. She's kind of famous in my world. And now
she
she's
has to be.
And now she's the biggest advocate of the platform, which is like to go from a fan and like watching someone teach people like me around the world, years ago, 40 years later. Now she's big time not working for us, but doing a lot of things with us and for us. It's just like meeting the celebrity and then working with them in just a couple of years, all thanks to the internet. So cool.
Yeah. She actually, it was her video that even got
was
me
it
started,
no way
started down.
You didn't tell me that. I don't think
her video was the one that I happened upon.
Her prior.
It caused me to fall down the rabbit hole. So
so that was the first time you saw Kelly?
That was the first time I ever have seen.
Oh, that's Kelly. So cool. I'm gonna have to tell her that. That's so cool.
And from that point, it was like the stars aligned.
She's amazing though. Now I chose her specifically because of all the credibility. There's no one at scale that I can recall that's public, at least, that's got the success that she's got and has the amount of students around the world that she's trained. So if she's not switch sides, but like putting her DNA and her name on the product, that means a lot to the people that are already in. And it just she's so good at what she does. People that don't even know her, she got it. The message was done, and that was just one channel. You didn't know all the things you could do that you've cracked. You surprised me. That's whenever I get surprised, it's like, oh, you made that. You did what? When I saw the text message come in after I did,
I surprise people all the time, Ryan. I just want you to know I can surprise some folks. I'm just saying.
This is the ultimate surprise, because people might know you're good, but then when you've got something like this and you incorporate it in the creative ways that you have, it really is another level. That's what I was going to say earlier. There's just levels to all of this stuff, and you're at the very, very top, man. I don't know. I keep telling you that to get it in your head. If we don't make the voices heard, this technology doesn't go the way we want it to. It's like we can't just wait on other people. We got to continue to. Y'all are doing the right things. That's why I can talk to you.
I appreciate you, brother.
I love what y'all are doing. Efforts clear, and the production is great. This is really fun. So thank you.
Thank you,
Ryan.
Thank you. So we are definitely going to extend another invitation to you to come back when we have some more things to talk, all chatbot related, and who knows, whatever's going on in the world, because I know you're avid of this, that, and the other. You have a community as well that you're growing, and I want everybody to look you up, especially your YouTube content. Phenomenal. I come from a line of creators. I'm a creator. I love the individuals around me who are creators, and I'm always telling them, YouTube it, Google it, because you don't have to just sit and listen to Karlos and Josh, even though we bring you the truth every week, but you should definitely be in your own time researching this information. Don't just take Carlos and Ryan, Josh talking about chatbots or chat GPT builder. Go look for yourself and see how you might be able to use that tool to do X, Y, and Z. Then if you have questions, reach out to us.
So true. I love you're such a go-getter, man. You saw that thing, and so many people see things and they think, oh, I could do that, but they don't do it. They don't, like, maybe you can, but you don't.
Yeah.
You just did it. Like, you didn't, most people that I would think that are of your higher business caliber would probably reach out to someone at this company for support or to make sure this is legit, or you didn't do any of that. I reached out to you because I saw the official email that you had there. I was like, who's this guy? He's like a scientist, and then well, it's true, man. I was like, who's looking at me here? But it's just a different level, man. And this was an honor. I want to cut it short and let you guys rat it out. But man, I can't wait to see what you do. I think you're gonna really, really surprise people. I know you have, as you keep saying and alluding to, but man, you're about to blow it out the water. I know it.
No, we are about to blow it out of water. I can't say enough. Thank you for what you have created, because it gives real people, everyday people, whatever their scenario, access to tools that they otherwise wouldn't have, as well as the learning curve isn't what it used to be. I remember when I first started learning a Photoshop and Illustrator, and I wanted to learn After Effects. After Effects was the program that it was so complicated, you don't want to touch it. So I jumped in head first to learn it. But now I don't have time for that. So if you can dumb it down for me, then I can give access to my community. Then that's where the opportunities lie, because I am here to connect people with better job opportunities, employment opportunities, and something above a livable wage. Especially here in the city of Detroit, where we started out at one point, the livable wage was $12 an hour. I remember that was 2016. Can you live on $12 an hour? No, you cannot. No, you cannot. And some of the jobs that are coming down the pipeline now, they're starting out at 25, 35, even higher. So how do we get people access by utilizing the tools and the knowledge now? I can't talk about this enough until I turn blue in the face, and that's going to be a long time, y'all. I'm just saying. Until I turn blue in the face, I'm going to be telling you about this thing called artificial intelligence, prompt engineering, chatbots, anything else I learned. We're going to make sure that you guys have access to it so that you can afford yourself an opportunity too. Ryan, appreciate you, brother, and I'll talk to you later today. All right.
See y'all later. Thank you so much.
Good stuff right there. Definitely extend that invite.
I just don't know, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right here. I feel like ducks. I feel like I just should take a moment.
Take a moment.
Take a moment. It just feels as if I'm in the moment.
Okay.
I'm in the moment, and it's not about me being in the moment. It's about, and I've told this story before. I don't know if I've said it here. I remember when Jamie and I were here at the school, and it was no students, no anybody, and we were trying to figure it out. And I remember one day standing back there in the sales and saying to myself that there were individuals coming after me who needed this, and it just stuck out like a bell in my head. The information that we have access to now, the tools that we are getting access on a daily basis to, individuals are coming and they need it today. The opportunities that I see coming on the horizon, you can't get by with the skill sets of yesterday. You can't. I walked in on one of my instructors yesterday. He was talking about creating a course for Linux. I said, what the hell for? Linux? For what? Because if you're not talking about the ChatGPT language models, if you're not talking about prompt engineering, building chatbots for the development of your business, whatever, to whatever extent, the conversation is moot to me. It's moot. I want to see our community, I want to see our students doing bigger and better things. So to what extent I have to make myself available, to what extent I have to sit down and go through some of this in order that I would know to communicate it effectively to you guys, then that's what I'm going to do. I want to see you guys in a better position next year than you are this. And that's all I'll say today.
All right. Well said, Karlos. I guess we'll catch Amber Boone next week.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll catch Amber next week. In the meantime,
no, week after, Josh.
Oh, 4th of July. I forgot. Yes. Okay. Well, the week of the we'll be back on the week of the 10th, I believe. Yes, there we go. So in the meantime, for myself, Josh, Karlos, Amber Boone, Ryan, and the gang here at DSDT, you are watching the Tech School podcast powered by DSDT. See ya.